guys, it's your girl Jackie, and yes, I am back with an all new Sisters review for you guys. This is season 6, episode 4, and it is entitled Face the Fire. Now, y'all, before I even get into it, y'all, I know this is late, and the reason it's late, y'all, I'm so mad because I had recorded majority of this on Friday, right? And I messed around. I had to work Friday, and right before I had to go in, I was like kind of finishing up, throwing my little last touches on it, right? And you know how sometimes your laptop like automatically updates, and so it like restarts and stuff like that. So before I got to save anything, this damn laptop decided to reboot itself to restart and update right before I had to go into work. So when I turned it back on, as you can imagine, all of my stuff was gone. Only a little bit part because you know how when you go in and you can save a little bit and then come back. I had a little bit saved. So some of what I recorded before is in here, and then some of the stuff I had to do all over again. So bear with me, y'all, okay? Anyway, before we get started, make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, and make sure y'all hit that notification bell so you can get my videos every time that they drop. And thank you for all of my returning viewers and everybody that's new. Thank you. Welcome. Let's go ahead and get into this review, y'all. Now, I'm not going to go in any particular order. I'm only going to talk about things that I care about, like I always do. Y'all, it's so many layers to unpack with this episode, and a little bit of the last, because I didn't get to do a review of the last 2 episodes. But I'm gonna start. I think I'm gonna start off with Aaron, and the reason why I'm gonna start off with Aaron is because I relate to how he was feeling in this moment when especially when. Like with how he reacted to Pam and with how he reacted to Zach, I was here for Aaron. I don't care what nobody say. I was here for him going off. It is what the hell it is. Starting with Pam, I understood how he came at Pam because we're gonna talk about it because he interacted with her first, and talk about she was coming up here because you didn't do your job and stuff like that. That's why she was back up in here. So regardless of where the fire started at. The reason that Karen went back up in there was because of Pam. It wasn't because of, whoever started the fire. Because she was already on her way up there, regardless if the fire was going to be happening or not, because Pam left the curlers on. So, when she went up in there, that's, she ended up passing out or whatever like that. So that's why, Aaron was upset, because Aaron was like, you don't never do your job. And I felt like, because let me find out. The reason that my loved one's up in here fighting for her life or is dead is because of your negligence. Which I would have a whole problem with your ass. I would be going in on your ass too. I'd be cussing your ass the fuck out. Fuck you mean? You got one job to do. One fucking job, like Danny said. And you act like you can't do it. But I'm going to get into her ass a little bit more later on. Now, on to Zach. When he went off on Zach, I felt him in that moment too, because you've been acting this whole time like you ain't give a fuck about Kim. You been in your feelings. You been having an attitude. You been paying her dust ever since she told you she was going forward in this thing with Aaron, and ever since you've been walking your ass around here with Fatima ass, throwing her in Karen's face and all that shit. You been paying her dust. Now all of a sudden, when you faced with the realization that she might be deceased. Now you want to run over there to her aid and try to find out what's going on with her and all. Bye. And the reason why I kind of, like felt Aaron in this one, because I can relate to how he feel as being somebody that has recently come into Karen's house and has grown to love her and care about her and knows about her situation and knows what she has had to deal with this individual, and and just know like about her past hurts and all that stuff like that. I've been dealing with somebody recently that I've grown to know a whole lot about, and he's told me like his life story and other things that he went through with his family, how he had to basically fend for himself as a kid, even as a child, basically take care of himself. And he recently had like a health scare last year, that could have took his life. And and then around at this time, all these people, all his like family members that didn't give a fuck about him before, they want to come around acting like, oh, they don't so scared, and oh, they so worried and stuff like that, and he just like, and I'm just like, from what the things that he's told me and the things that he's shared with me about his family, his past, I'm like you motherfuckers don't even give a fuck about him, and y'all in here, acting like, what I'm saying? Like, so stuff like that just bothers me. But at the same time, it's like, I don't, even though he's shared a lot of things with me, I really don't know, I'm on the outside. I'm on the outside looking in, but also I believe the things that he's told me. So, and it's like, I really don't know the full story about a lot of the things, but at the same time, it's like, you motherfuckers don't even talk to this man on a daily basis. So it's like, and he been looking like, okay, like, and I was just like, that's just the way it be sometimes. So I can understand Aaron in that moment, like, when you care about somebody and these people just that don't give a fuck about them, or at least acting like they didn't give a fuck, want to come around acting like they so worried or they so concerned at this moment now. Like, don't do that. Like, don't be acting concerned when it's too late, when you wasn't acting concerned before. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, stop. So yeah, I got him in that moment, and I was here for it. I was here for it when he came as Zach, like, oh, now you care, now that's too late, now you give a fuck. Yeah, I was here for it. Yep, because now you wouldn't act like you all heartbroken and you about to die and shit at the thought of this woman being deceased, when you was acting a complete ass this entire time, as if like you was some fucking victim. Nigga, bye. And I said what I said. I said what I said. I don't give a fuck who mad about it. It is what it is. Yeah, I was all the way here for it. Now, next thing I'm gonna talk about is Gary S. Now, I understand why Aaron called him over there, because Aaron been through going, being there for Gary all this damn time. Your ass better come through whenever this man call. For real. You better show your ass the fuck up and be there for him. All the times this man has been there for you. You better show up. So, he came through and he was like, what's going on? We about to bam, saying, what can I do? And he was like, I'm gonna make some calls and all this stuff. And he ended up making some calls to the mayor. I don't know what the fuck the mayor's gonna do, but he, called the mayor or whatever. And so, as he's talking to him or whatever, Zach shows up. Cause wait. Let's go back. Cause I'll skip a part, y'all. So, y'all. So when Pam, I'm trying to figure out how Pam got to the damn firm and why Fatima had to drive them back. Because I'm like, well, how Pam get there? We'll get to that. So at the end of the last episode, we see Fatima and Zach going up there to the farm, whatever like that, and they was like wondering why Andy was still there, whatever. And she was like, I'm here to see Pam, and what I'm saying, like that. She came up there to the farm or whatever. Excuse me. So she goes over, she sees Pam over there, and she's crying. She's like, Pam, like, what's going on? You know what I'm saying, like that. So she walks over to Pam, and she's like putting her hand on her shoulders, like, what's going on? And she said she's crying. She's talking about Karen, and she's like, what? She's like, what? And she's like, Karen's dead. And then, it cuts off, whatever, like that. And Zach is like, what? And so then the next episode comes on. This episode comes on, and Zach is like, Karen is what, Pam? And she like, Karen dead, and first of all, I'm mad at Pam for coming up there, and you didn't even know that for sure. You did not know that for sure. To be coming up there, telling these people that this woman is dead, and you have no confirmation of those facts. That's number one. I would have whooped your ass, okay? Because you're not gonna come up here and tell me that my loved one is dead, and you have no confirmation of that. You have absolutely no confirmation that my loved one is dead. I'm stopping the fuck out your ass once I find out she ain't. And so, I'm just saying, real talk. Like, you don't do that shit. You don't do that shit. I ain't never going up to nobody's job and telling them that somebody is deceased. I do not know that for a fact. I do not know. Is that I'm gonna make sure I see a body. I'm gonna make sure somebody confirms that it is this woman is up in here and that she is dead. I'm not ever gonna tell nobody's family member that you gone and I don't know that. Girl, bye. And so they like, what? Zach like, you lying, Pam, stop lying, you know what I'm saying, like that. And she's like, no. So then Andy break down. Now, this like the only scene where I say that KJ was given some type of acting skills, okay? Because that initial breakdown when she's like, no, I just saw her, you know what I'm saying, and she's pregnant, and then like for her to just be like, just be in like so much shock that like her body just froze and she couldn't move. And I was just like, I felt like all that like emotion when she was going through that, and I ain't even gonna lie, I teared up a little bit. I was like, oh, Andy, I'm gonna cut your ass out later, but I was like, oh, Andy got me in the beginning of it. You know what I'm saying? Even though I'm gonna go in her ass later, but yeah, she got me in the beginning. And Fatima's just like, what? Like at first, like she was just confused and stuff like that. And then she looking at the same time, she's looking at Zach like, stop playing. Then when Zach said, I'm going to the salon, and he walked out, then she got this look like, the fuck this nigga? And I'm looking at her like, what do you expect him to do? Like, I'm like, I just couldn't understand why she was sitting there like with this face the whole time. But I'm gonna get into that. And so then, Fatima was like, okay, let's go. I'm gonna drive you guys over there. And I'm looking and I'm like, you know what I'm saying? She got Andy up and they walk into the car and then they in the car. And, Annie just looking out the window like she just done. Like she can't even, it was just like, she was just like numb. And she just looking like, she can't even believe like what she just heard. Her best friend gone. And, and I'm just like up until they got to the actual scene, KJ's acting was on point. Now, they in the car, and Pam just keeps saying, he blaming me, Aaron's blaming me, and she was like, you call her mom, and she was like, I was, but Aaron said we had to wait till we got more information. And, Fatima was like, wait, Aaron was there? She was like, yeah, he was in the car with me when I pulled up. And I'm like, he wasn't in the car with you, but I think maybe she meant to say that he was they both was in their cars when they pulled up, whatever like that. I don't know. But they should have said that over when they did that. They should have did that scene over. But anyway, she was like, oh, and she said the fireman just said it was a body in there and all this stuff, and Aaron's blaming me, and Andy was like, why? Why is he blaming you? She's like, Pam, why he blaming you? And she said, because I left the curlers on and Karen went back in to go get it, and she gonna start crying. I'd have been like, bitch, what? Like, and this part right here, I'll say, Andy wasn't doing enough for me. I'm sorry, because the way I would have been in that back seat, the way I would have towed that back seat up, after you gonna tell me that my friend is dead, and the reason why she dead is because she went in there to turn off some curtains that your ass left on and set her shit on fire. Bitch, I'm about to set this back seat on fire and I'm about to whoop your motherfucking ass. The fuck? Cut them motherfucking tears. Cut them tears, cause bitch, you, listen. I'm gonna give your ass something to cry for. Real talk. Ain't nowhere in the world you gonna tell me my loved one that died of this month because of your negligence. The fuck? Nah, Andy, you wasn't doing enough for me. I'm sorry. And then, she like, I need to call the girls. So they called Danny. And Fatima's like, this is Fatima. And she's like, oh, what's up, girl? She's like, I need you to come to Karen's salon. She's like, okay, for what? She was like, I just need you to come. And she was like, she like kept saying like, for what? She was like, I just need you to come. She was like, Fatima, you scaring me. What is going on? And I'm like, why don't they just tell her? Like, I can't stand that shit. Don't call me at my job and tell me I need to be somewhere when you don't want to tell me why I need to be there. What is going on? What is going on? You need to tell me what's going on now. And then she gonna put Andy on the phone. She's like, and Andy over there crying, telling her just come. She was like, oh, she crying? She's like, nah, what's going on? And she was like, just come. She's like, okay. And she just ended up just going. I said, nah, y'all would have to tell me. Y'all would have to tell me as I'm going. What's going on? You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all playing games with me. Don't call me on my phone like that at work. For real. I'm just saying. If something going on, you need to tell me immediately. Because I will fly out that door. I don't give a fuck. What is going on? Why am I going to Karen's salon? What the hell happened? Like, but at the same time, I understand, because if Fatima was calling from Andy's phone, I would have immediately, something would have went off and like, oh, like, nah, okay, I'm on my way out the door as we talking. But you still gonna tell me what the fuck going on. You know what I'm saying? I've been asking those questions while I'm walking out the door. What's going on? I got an emergency, I gotta go. It is what it is. So she ended up, leaving, and let's get to Sabrina. This silly ass girl then left her phone and stuff at home to go out with Bio. Something I would have never did. Like Alicia said, women, do not do this. I don't care how you barely know this man, especially with somebody that you barely know. Do not ever go out the door without your phone and ID and all of that. I don't care what they say. You do not know this person. There is no reason whatsoever for you to be leaving your purse, your ID, your phone, and everything that could identify you at your house to go and have dinner with somebody. I can see if this was Maurice or somebody that you know for a long time, that you are very close to, that you can trust. You don't do that with no random motherfucker you just met. I don't care how much money he just gave your ass to do something for somebody. I don't give a fuck. You still just met this man not too long ago. You do not know that man that well enough to be leaving your shit at home. So anyway, while I'm off her ass, she gets back, whatever like that. I ain't even finna go through the whole thing with Maurice and Bio and all that, because I don't give a fuck. Because I think Tyler doing a little too much with that whole scene, and I'm not even finna get into all that. So skipping past all that, once Bio leave or whatever like that, she finally looks at her phone. First, Maurice tells her that he went to go and visit Q or whatever like that. And she's like, why? She's like, because I'm trying to get him to confess about the band. She was like, no, you need to stay away from him and go out the band. So after they go through all that, she starts to look at her phone. She's like, oh, I got a whole bunch of missed calls. She was like, well, that's because you left your phone, dummy. Now, usually I be kind of like Maurice be getting on my nerves when he be calling her out her name. But that time I was okay with it because, girl, yeah, you was stupid. You was stupid for leaving your phone and stuff. And so she was like, but she was like, yeah, but Danny don't call me this much. He was like, yuck mouth Danny. I said, no, you ain't come for Danny like that, Maurice. And so then she called Danny back, and Danny's like, get to the salon. And she was like, why? She was like, I don't know, but I'm on my way right there. She was like, well, Danny, that's kind of scary. She was like, I know it's scaring me too, but you need to get over there. And she was like, okay. So then, Maurice ended up going with her and stuff like that. So going back to the salon, we see, like I said before, we saw Aaron and them out there. Zach shows up. Zach's like, what's going on? What's going on? You know what I'm saying? He and his feelings and stuff like that. He was like, it's we don't know yet. We trying to get more information. He like, is Karen in there? He was like, we don't know. They say there's a body in there and they not letting nobody in. He like, oh my God. He breaking. He like he about to lose his mind. I'm like, I'm just looking at him like, really? Like, this is my face the whole time. This is my face the whole time. Cause what, nigga? Like, you have like been like, my thing is, okay, I get it. Okay, you was in your feelings, but you didn't really want the woman to die. Okay, but still, the way he was acting, it's like you would think that he ain't been just completely ignoring this woman for like a good 3-4 weeks. Like, dude, you know. So, you know what I'm saying? He's like, while he doing that, Andy and them pop up. Andy like, what is going on? What is going on? And they was like, they told her the same thing. Like, we don't know yet. It's a body in there. Andy like, oh my God, she breaking down. She is like, she falling all over Fatima and stuff like that. And, Fatima, consoling her or whatever. And I'm just wondering, I was like, Fatima. I was like, especially when you seen Gary there. Why the fuck are you still over there with Andy? Like, your man ain't over here breaking down. And this my thing. Like, it's like, to me, like, she got on my nerves because it's like the whole time. I get into her later. I get into her later because I got a whole section for her ass. Okay. I got a whole section for her ass. So, she's like, what's going on? You know what I'm saying? Like that. And then, he was like, Zach started, screaming for Karen. Like, Karen, you know what I'm saying? He yelled like her name like 3 times. And then he tried to run in that bitch. And Fatima just sitting there looking at him like, right, really? Like, I'm like, Zach, what you gonna do? What you gonna go in there and do? So then, you know what I'm saying? He's like, oh my goodness, I can't believe this and stuff like that. And that's when Aaron came up with the, oh, now you care. Now that it's too late, you care now, huh? And he's like, are you serious? He was like, yeah. He like, they about to get into it. He like, Aaron, I will fuck you up and all this stuff like that. This is not the time, and woo out the man. And I'm like, nah, it was the time. It was the time. Cause I can't even believe you. I'd have something like that too. You something want to act like this about my motherfucking woman. Well, not my woman, but whatever. You know what it is. And you gonna come back acting like you so concerned. Like, bye. I would have said the same shit. And so then Andy started going up like, y'all gotta go do this right now. This ain't even helping. Both of y'all need to stop. And that's when they shut the fuck up. I'm like, mm-mm. So then after that, Danny walked up. She was like, what's going on, y'all? You know what I'm saying? And Andy just sitting there crying. And Pam like crying, talking about it was a fire. Then she was like, where's Karen at, Pam? And she like, I don't know. She in there with the bam. And she like, but she okay though, right? She okay, right? And Andy just sitting there just crying. And I'm like, now this is another part that had me in my feelings because I'm like, the only ones I can sit here and say that was on they acting shit was Mignon, DeVal, Aaron, and that's about it. And Karen, when she came through. Other than that, the rest of them acting was questionable. I'm sorry, like, stop it. They don't like them photo, DeVal, KJ, Mignon, and Ebony was the only ones that was on their shit the entire time. Now the other ones, I struggle with their acting skill, but it is what it is. Bless their heart. You know what I'm saying? They be doing okay for the most part, but she like, what happened? Y'all tell me what happened. And Aaron was like, Pam left the curlers on. And she's like, Pam, you had one job to do. One job. I'm like, exactly. She said that everything that I would have been saying, word for word. It's just unplug stuff. That's it. That's all you had to do. And she was like, that's all she had. That's the only thing she had left. That's all she had. And, I'm like, just shaking my head. And so then Sabrina walked up and she's like, what's going on? She's like, where's Karen at? She just screaming, where's Karen? And so then Preston come out of nowhere. I'm like, where does these niggas coming from? Because I'm like, for what reason? So he come up there, he comforting Danny and stuff like that. And he like, you okay? She's like, no, I'm not okay. And, Calvin comes there, I got your message, what's going on? And Maurice like, it's not good, Calvin, it's not good. And she's like, what's going on? Like, they think she's dead. And then you see Zach break it down again when he said that, and Sabrina break it down, and he like, who? And he's like, Karen. And he's like, oh no, I'm sure she's okay and stuff like that. And she's like, I don't know. I'm like, not Novia. I know you could have did a better job than that, but I'm gonna leave you alone because you're my good sis. Woo! I'm sorry, but I was just like, I could take a lot of the acting in this scene, but we gonna talk about it. So when the medical examiner got there, Gary was like, let me through to go to the medical examiner and stuff like that, and Andy is like, oh my God, this ain't happening. This isn't happening. This really happening. And Gary consoled her. Like, I'm here. It's okay. And then, they out there talking about there's somebody, Danny like, is anybody called, Miss Lisa? And it was like, we can't do that yet. And she was like, well, somebody's gonna have to. And Andy gonna look at Sabrina like, Sabrina's like, don't look at me. And then Zach was like, I'll do it. And Aaron was like, no, don't do that yet. We need more information. We're not even sure that it's her in there. And she was like, what you mean? She need to know whether, man. And I'm like, Aaron is right. You don't know if it's in there. You ain't never gonna tell me that my child is dead if you don't know for sure. Don't call me about shit. I'm gonna tell you right now. You ain't never gonna get on the phone and tell me that my son is deceased and you don't know that for sure. Because I promise you, when I meet up with you, I'm whooping your ass. It's what the fuck it is. Nah, you're not even gonna play them type of games. So he gonna call her and be messed up. This is Zach. He's coming when you get this message. That's out of here. And so, as they get the phone, the medical examiner comes back out like, and Gary was like, can you give us any information? And he was like, who's the next of kid? The dude was getting on my nerves. So I'm like, why is he talking like that? Oh, well, I'm sorry, but I can confirm that the person inside is deceased. And then they just all started breaking down. Andy screaming. I'm like, girl, okay, you doing a lot. But I mean, was she? That's her best friend. You know what I'm saying? Like her sister. So I guess I understand. I guess I would have been the same way. That was my friend. Especially my best friend. Sometimes I'm like extremely close to. Yeah. I would have fell out too. But and then you got Zach over there just breaking down. Like, oh my God. And Fatima just looking at him. And I'm like, this bitch. Oh, I'm gonna get into her, y'all. Anyway, while they sit there breaking down, just like losing it. We see Danny break down. And the thing about Danny, her breakdown, I think was more believable to me because she just, like, you couldn't just hear nothing. You just see, like, her whole body just breaking down. And she just, like, you know what I'm saying? And so, while they doing all that, Karen walks up. And let me just say, Ebony looked amazing. I don't care what a bitch got to say about shit. She did that. When she walked up, I don't know who did her makeup. I don't know who dressed her, did her makeup, did the wig, whatever she had. Thank you. Thank you. Cause you had my good sis looking okay. Hair was laid, face beat to the guards. You understand me? She looked stunning. You understand? Like she just came off somebody's runway. Bitch, the fuck? I said, what girl, where you coming from? Like you just come from a Vogue photo shoot. Girl, what? She came up like, what is y'all doing? What is going on? They like, Karen. And for Tim looking like, the fuck? Like, just like the girl okay or whatever. And as soon as Zach see her, he like, oh my God. He went over there. He the first one to grab this girl and would not let her go. Just hold her like, oh my God. And she like, I'm fine. And he's like, oh my God. He start caressing her face and all this shit and her hair. And I I can't believe, like, I just want to make sure it's you. You know what I'm saying? It's you. He just kept holding her like he not want to let her go ever again. Like, ever again. And so then, like, she was like, I got almost died for y'all to show love. And he was like, stop, don't do that. We love, we all love you. And he was, and she was like, I'm fine with my shopping. And he was, Aaron said, oh, that's okay, Karen, we can take care of that. And then, motherfucker, Zach gonna say, I promise I'm gonna help you rebuild. I'm gonna help you rebuild everything. And then gonna hug her again and stuff like that. And then he was like, we all love you and stuff like that. And they was like, yes, we do. He went in for another hug and they had to literally pull this nigga up off her. Like KJ was like, move your ass out the way. I mean, Andy, I keep calling her KJ. Move what? Like, they was like, move. Her husband was like, move. Like, what is you doing? And they all just hugged up on her and loved up on her like, like we thought you was gone, girl. We thought you was gone. And so the parent walked up talking about, so I'm so glad you're not dead. And she was like, I bet you wish I'm not dead. You gonna wish you was dead, leaving them damn curlers on, girl. What the hell? And I said, I know, that's right. I said, whoop. I said, uh-oh. Miss Karen ain't playing, okay? Pam, you might wanna back the fuck up. And so they was like trying to find out what happened. She was like, explain what happened, how she pulled up to go turn the curtains off, and she seen it was on fire, and she went in, and she ended up passing out. And it was like, well, how you got out? She was like, well, this man got me out. And he was like, Sabrina was like, who's this? And he was like, I'm Lewis. I own the store next door. And Maurice killed me right at this moment when he said that. He said, not Lewis. I said, I don't know why that made me crack up. That cracked me the hell up. He said, not Lewis. I said, Maurice get on my nerves sometimes. Ooh, that man said, not Lewis. Okay. And so, Pam gonna say, thank you, Lewis. I know your ass is gonna come in handy for something. He like, damn, Pam. I'm like, right. I'm like, Pam. And so, she talking about she want to go up in there and she was like, you can't even go into the shop and get nothing. And she was like, okay. And they was like, let's go or whatever. And Danny was like, I need a drink. And she was like, I can't even drink, Daddy. I can't even drink. And so they started walking off, going to get in the car and stuff like that. And then Carrie gonna say, ladies, what about us? And then looking at him like, what about y'all? Oh, and it was a moment where Preston was comforting Danny. And he gonna say, my man, just let her deal with it her own way. He was like, Preston was like, I got this. And I was like, and Danny looked at him like, the fuck? Like, dude, if you don't shut the fuck up, like if you don't sit your ass down, for real. Because nobody over here like your ass. For real. And so, yeah, I forgot about that moment. But anyway, they ended up walking off. And she's like, what about y'all? Now, this next thing, I feel like it was totally unnecessary and irrelevant to the situation that was going on when Pam, said that, I guess we can kicked out the club or whatever like that. And Pam gonna say, like, somebody about to be kicked out of something else. And I'm like, what? And she was talking about Zach. I'm like, what he finna get kicked out of? I really want to know. Who finna kick him out of something? Because Fatima can't kick him out of something that ain't hers. So I know you want to talk about she finna kick him out the house. Who how? Not because Fatima can leave. The fuck if she want to, and she in her feelings, she can leave for a while. But she ain't about to kick nobody out of shit. So I don't even understand what the fuck she was talking about. And I feel like it was just so unnecessary for her to bring it up at that moment, because when the shit about that moment about Fatima. Why are we having this whole dialogue about Fatima and her feelings right now when this woman was thought to be dead? We're not gonna do this. I was not here for that entire dialogue, that whole scene right there. They could have cut that. I don't give a fuck about Fatima in this moment, and I'm not gonna make it about her. Period. It is what it is. So the girls go back to Andy's house or whatever. Before that we see them though, we see Fatima go and talk to Angela. I'm not even gonna spend that much time on this because again, I don't give a fuck about Fatima's feelings in this moment. While they might be valid, this situation wasn't about her, and I'm not about to make it about her. But I just want to throw in she went and she talked to Angela about how she was feeling about the whole situation or whatever. Okay, the end. I don't give a fuck. Anyway, and I said what I said. Motherfuckers can feel however the fuck they want to feel about that. I don't give a fuck about Fatima's feelings at all in this situation. Ain't shit about her. We are not about to make this situation about her. This woman was thought to be dead. You are not entitled to no feelings right now at this moment. Nobody gives a fuck about how you feel. Period. You are a non-factor in this situation and should have been. Nobody's attention should have been on you and worried about your feelings in that moment. Period. And I'm going to get into that when I get on my whole little section about her. Now, let me just finish up, this whole little conversation that they was having back at the penthouse. And it's another reason why I'm about to go in on Andy's ass. So, we get to the penthouse. And, they're like, we're so glad that you're alive. They still hugging up on her and stuff like that. And it was like, what was you thinking going back up in there? She was like, I don't know. I just, I shouldn't have did it. And stuff like that. And, Danny was like, you're supposed to run from fire. You're supposed to just stop, drop, and roll, prevent forest fires, and all this stuff. And she was like, basically, you need to run as fast as Zach was running to you. And I was like, oh. And then Eddie, this is where she get on my nerves at. So I was like, no, we're not going to do that. We're not going to do that. She was like, what? She noticed it. And stuff like that. She was like, I did. And she was like, she knows. And then Andy was like, she did. How the fuck she ain't noticed, Andy? How the fuck did she not notice? Okay, and then she's like, no, we're going to talk about Zach and Fatima. And she's like, no, we're not going to do that. And I'm sitting here. What's pissing me off about Andy is because you want to shut down this conversation that they having about Zach and Fatima, but when Fatima brings up Karen, you don't shut that shit down. So don't be trying to shut it down now. You don't be trying to kick nobody out your house when you don't be trying to kick Fatima out when she go in talking about Karen. So why the fuck you trying to kick them out? Oh no, man, we're not gonna do that. We're not gonna do that. They gonna talk about them, and they gonna bring up what the fuck they saw because it happened in front of them, so it ain't no secret. You know what I'm saying? And Danny, I'm saying, like, I just felt she was like that damn Fatima didn't say a word. Like she was quiet as hell, and Danny kept on saying, Andy kept on talking about something. We not gonna do that. Yeah. Like, girl, shut up. And then she don't get up at one point talking about, okay, I'm finna leave. And she was like, bitch, sit your ass down. You already at home. And she's like, oh, this is my house. Oh, because they had been smoking weed and shit. And I said, this bitch. Like, okay. And so, she bring up Zach again or whatever like that. So he go Eddie trying to change the subject, talking about some. Oh, I'm trying to figure, did you call Miss Lisa? And so that shit, no, I haven't called her yet. And then he was like, oh, you trying to change the subject. But back to Zach and Fatima. I'm like, I know that's right. Like, stop, Andy. Because you won't be trying to change the subject when Fatima be talking about Karen, so you gonna miss me with that bullshit. And so, then she gonna turn around and start bringing up Calvin while Calvin and Preston was there. And she's like, oh, you guys, Ain't gonna just let me live, huh? She said, it's okay, but I'll tell you. And she told about how Preston left the girl at the hotel and came back over there to see her and all that crash. It was like, for real? Oh, he bold. I said, I'm looking at Eddie like, okay, and Gary be bold about a whole lot of shit that he be doing over there, so I'm gonna need you to okay. Anyway, so long story short, Carrie ended up saying, okay, I'm gonna change the subject too. And when I was at the hospital getting checked out, my doctor came to see me and she told me who the father of the child is. And that's where I end. Now, I'm gonna take this time to go back and talk about some of the things that I want to talk about. Basically, I just want to talk about Fatima. Now, my whole thing with Fatima is this: when they initially came up there, to the firm, and Pam came up there and told y'all what was going on, and you seen how Zach was when he left up out of there, you already had an attitude. You should have stayed your ass at that firm. You do not come up to no scene looking the way that you looked, cutting your eyes the way that you was cutting your eyes. I don't give a fuck what was going on or what you didn't like. You don't sit up there and do that at no scene like that. If you was going to do anything, since you knew you was in your fucking feelings, you should have dropped Pam and Andy off, especially since you seen Gary up there. Dropped them off and took your ass back to that firm or went back to Zach's house. Yeah, I said Zach's house because that's what it is. Anyway, you should have went to one of them two places. Or to that bar and met Angela or whatever that earlier, because you had no business sitting up there at that scene like that. Period. Yeah, you was there for Andy and stuff, like all good and well, but you need to be there with a better look on your face, because I had in mind of, if I seen somebody looking like that at a scene like that and it was involving my loved one, I probably would have cussed your ass out. And I'm just saying, you don't be sitting up there looking like that and no scene like that. You cutting your eyes, rolling your eyes, and my whole thing is, you see your man over here breaking down. Andy is okay. Her man is, whatever her person that she dealing with is right there. She got somebody to hold her if she needs to be held. Why the fuck you ain't over there with your man, consoling him? I don't understand that. Some bitches just be getting on my nerves. What the fuck is wrong with you? And you just sit up there in your feelings, she literally made that whole situation about her, and that situation was not about you at that moment. This woman was thought to be dead. He thought this woman was dead. He spent 3 years with this woman. This woman could also be more than likely carrying his child. And you have the audacity to sit your ass up here with an attitude and be all the way over there on the other side of the motherfucking salon instead of being over there by your man because you in your fucking feelings. If I was Zach, I'd have her shit packed as soon as she got to the house. Because what you not gonna do, especially when your ass was sitting up there in that tub, balled up in that tub, crying over Ian, girl, bye. Stop. This is what we not gonna do. This is what we not gonna do. You're not gonna sit up here and be in your feelings about some shit that you can't control, and that you did yourself. Which is why I skipped over her entire parts entirely, because we're not about to make shit about you in this moment. It's not about you. Ain't shit about you in this moment. Talking about Zach should have considered her. So many people talking about Zach should have considered her, but Zach should have considered shit. Was Fatima? She talking about something he abandoned me. What was going on with you that he had to sit there by you? Was you dying? Was you laid up in a hospital somewhere? Was something happening to you at that moment? No. So why the fuck did he need to sit there and be over there by you? He was supposed to leave in that moment. He was supposed to leave and go see about the mother of his child possibly being dead. Fuck is you talking about? There's nothing wrong with you. So why the fuck did he need to be up in there in your face? Bye. Girl, stop. Stop it. Sit down somewhere. Because you about to really get on my nerves. Stop it. Stop trying to make everything about you. Everything is not about you. Just go sit down somewhere and accept what the fuck is going on. If you ain't happy, then your ass needs to just get your shit and go about your business. I'm so tired of her. Like it make no sense. Like I be trying my best to not like hate Fatima and not dislike her, but she really is starting to get on my nerves. Like really, really bad. But anyway, y'all, I think I covered everything that I wanted to talk about. If I missed something, let me know in the comment section. You know that I'll, talk about it with y'all. Anyway, like always, make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe. And make sure you hit that notification bell so you can get my videos every time they drop. And I will see you on my next review.